Time the fuck out. I didn't even get started on what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Bro, that movie was crazy.
Crazy, Francie. Yeah.
I was like, well, what are the specials tonight? Yes.
That sounds
no
good.
problem.
I'll have that.
Hey everybody, specialist in nothing, back at you again, talking about everything, specializing in nothing. My name is Frank, and as always, Joe, Danny, you guys want to say what's up?
What's up?
Oh,
What's
How
up?
are we
What's up?
doing tonight?
Buongiorno. Must ask you some questions, Joe.
What do you guys want to talk about tonight? What's today's topic, Frank? Why don't you tell everybody?
Can I tell you, I'm scared about what
That
tonight's
accent's
topic is.
off, man.
Not that I'm scared to talk about it tonight, but I am totally scared about humanity. And
Yeah.
humanity is what we're going to be talking about. Like, for the most part, I mean, let's just kick it off right away. I'm going to get this Frankopedia out and I'm going right into this deep dive. It's the human race. It's like, it's
This could either be the perfect time to talk about this or the worst time to talk about this right now. You know?
No, but
Thanks
where
for
do you
summing
guys
that up
think
for
we're
us,
gonna-
Frank.
where do you guys think we're gonna be in the next like 10 years?
Oh man, down the shitter. Honestly, I'd love to say that I have hopes for the future, but I'm scared. I'm
See,
scared.
I meant the specialist in nothing, and Danny's first response was down the shitter. Wow.
We're talking
No,
about
I'm joking.
humanity. We
No,
said
okay,
nothing
okay.
of the
No,
sort.
no, but yeah, honestly, where do you think? Like, do you think we'll still be same living situations we're living in now?
I don't know.
I mean,
Based
it's
on
only
what's
10
going
years.
on, it's just 10 years isn't a long time, but a lot can happen in 10 years. Look what happened in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
We had everything except an actual volcano erupt, unless maybe something did. I just didn't
I'm
make the news
sure a
yet.
fucking volcano
There had
erupts
to have.
somewhere.
Something had to happen. That's it. We released documents on proof of aliens, which Joe still decides to just look the other way about.
Yeah, I love that too. I love that too
We're
because in an
not-
episode he quote, and I quote, and he said, I believe everything the government tells me, 100%. Like, yeah, no worries, no qualms, no nothing. Blah, blah, blah. And then the government came out and said, yeah, well, there's actually is aliens, and he still doesn't believe
Hold
that.
up. You're gonna fucking confuse everybody. They didn't come out and this is so off topic, but I gotta cover my ass. All right. They didn't come out with proof of aliens.
It
They
was
came out with
disclosed
footage.
documentation.
They came out with footage, multiple. Oh, okay. Not
You're gonna quote footage right now? You're gonna quote the word
No,
footage?
I was actually I worked in Disney before, so I'm doing a 2-finger point, and I just so happened to do this when I
Okay.
talk.
Which is
Anyway, it wasn't
quotations to most
quoting.
people, but go ahead, continue.
I'm quotating everything I say for the rest of the episode.
I was thinking when Joey misuses air quotes in Friends, I'm sorry. That's what made me think of.
They didn't release video footage of actual alien proof. What the footage was is radars of objects moving very, very fast that they couldn't explain. Nobody saw.
Unidentified
well,
flying
okay.
objects. What do we call those, Danny?
Right, but they
Those are
couldn't prove.
UFOs to most
Hold
people.
up, bro. Hold up.
We're listening. We're
There
still
was
here.
no proof of alien life. It could have been Russia or another country who has technology that we don't know they have and is very advanced, and they're testing it because
Then
it's
why would
always
the
over
government say that it's
water.
aliens?
Nobody said it was aliens. They're calling it, they don't know what it is. So when you don't know what something is, America labeled that term as being an alien, but that's not the actual definition.
All right.
So they didn't
give 'em
say,
that.
when they say, oh, extraterrestrials, like, things that
Mhm.
we are not
Like,
unsure,
it wasn't an
we're unsure of.
extraterrestrial, it was an alien. 'cause
Right.
It was
They didn't say it
unidentified.
was something specific to
That's a
another
solid argument.
planet.
I'll give him that, Danny.
Oh my God. Because my brain hurts. I try to be extremely specific when I talk about this shit.
Factual.
All right, let's
Okay.
not.
So,
That's too
yes.
much for me to roll with. So let's get back to
Humanity.
humanity.
This could roll into humanity, though. So
No, I
Because-
think it has to do with it.
It definitely has to do with it. I
But-
mean,
but we're not talking about could aliens land in 10 years from now? We'll talk about it quickly, but let's not get too out of control.
No. Well,
'Cause I
listen.
know you're going there.
I think
No,
10
I
years
just
from
think
now,
it's
none
crazy
of
that
us-
you really think
nobody's
that
ever gonna still
humanity
talk
is
to
the
aliens.
only living species, life form in the galaxy. Like,
It's
look, we're not gonna get that.
That's all that I fucking see around so far.
I mean,
I've seen
even
nothing
like another
else.
like animal, like something that walks on four legs or something like that, like in an like you know what I mean? Like I don't know, it could be anything. Like, there's got to be something out there. To me, it's infinite nothingness.
Where is it?
But humanity
Show me
is all we
something.
know. Humanity is all we know. And honestly,
Right.
what is it? What does it take to be human? You know, besides the whole like living and breathing and soul and all this shit, like function, motor functions and stuff. What does it mean to be human? You know, we express feelings to each other, and we have ups and downs, and everybody goes through it. So feelings is what differentiates us, as well as like I guess a cognitive brain from other animals and stuff. But as far as the human race goes, like, do you think people are good? Like, how do I explain this? There's obviously always going to be good and bad people, and we're not people to judge anyone based on anything. But do you think for the most part humanity is good, or do you think that humanity is bad, negative or positive? What do you think
I think it's been good so far.
thus far?
Things have been seeming pretty shitty, and I think we could all say things can get very shitty very fast. But
I'm kind of
Bro,
thinking more though, like
think of where we
people-
were in the 1900s, 1800s, to where
Right,
we
but I'm
are
saying
now,
to
and
be
we're
human-
still thriving to create and invent, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
see,
but
I
I'm
was
saying
thinking
to
of
be
it in the
human
sense of like
between
yeah,
each
like,
other.
Like I was
how
just
do you
gonna say,
mean?
people are very selfish in general. Like I think,
like
I think
our
more
attitude towards
people-
each other.
well, that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Like I wasn't
That's what I
necessarily
meant.
thinking of it-
have just said that then.
I
because when he
basically did.
when he said it, that's what I thought of. Like
Got
I wasn't
deep,
thinking of it
bro.
as like an elite living situation. Like I was
Damn,
talking
got
about like
deep.
yeah, I was gonna say like I feel like most people out there in the world are more selfish out for themselves to get their
Oh,
own
yes,
or
100%.
whatever. And that is
Fuck
where
you,
humanity
pay
is
me.
failing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
people aren't holding doors for everybody.
Or
A
saying
lot of
thank you for
assholes
it
out
anyway.
there, man. I ran into 3 of those in 1 week,
Yeah.
God.
just this week.
I don't know. I just feel like you're right. People are very selfish, especially when it comes to traffic or if they got to get somewhere. It's like,
Bro,
they're like,
they'll
get the
cut
fuck
your
out of my
fucking
way.
ass off with their
Mhm.
2-year-old kid in a car seat just to get 2 car lengths in front of you and sit at the same
Same
light as
light.
you for 10 minutes.
Same light.
Yeah.
Where's that
Like,
getting
what
you?
the
You know?
fuck are you doing?
I think one of the biggest problems with people right now nowadays is that they can't see through the eyes of someone else. Someone only
Yeah.
sees things how it happens for them, and when there's a situation or even after the situation, there's no one that ever goes back, or for the most part anyway, I feel like there's not a lot of people that go back and think about why did this other person react like this, or maybe this is what happened to them, or try and feel how they're feeling or understand their side of it or whatever. I don't think anybody is about that anymore. I
There's
don't
not
think
a
there's
lot of
no one
people
that
who
does
are, they're not understanding of that. Like, everyone's got their own shit going on. Everyone's got their own shit going on. We
But
all
you can't think that
collectively,
someone else has some shit going on. You know what I mean?
what do you mean?
Like exactly what you said. Everybody has shit going on. So everyone feels like, oh my
Bro.
God, I have some shit going on. I have some shit. But you can't realize that someone else also has some shit
You
going
can't
on.
put yourself in their shoes. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it could be different. Like, fucking, I could have gotten to a car accident and I fucked up my car. I'm okay, but my car's okay. And then, like, Frank, maybe one of your daughters isn't feeling good, so she's got an ear infection, kept you up all week or all night, so you're exhausted. And Joe, something at work is just bugging you out. Like, we all got different shit going on, so you can't really put yourself in other people's shoes unless you ask, "Hey, man, how you doing today?
No,
How
no,
are
no,
you
I'm not-
feeling?"
I'm not
No, no,
saying
no,
it in
I
in
get what you're
like
saying. You know what are you saying?
no. I was saying I'm not saying.
Get
like
what you're
that, like-
saying. What are you
No,
saying?
because I thought I knew what he was saying, and then he
Wait,
said,
what are you
"I'm not saying," and then blah blah blah. And it's like, wait, maybe I don't know what he's saying. What are you
Yeah.
saying?
because like I mean like okay, so like you're in line at the deli. I know I always do this. I know, but I'm just relating it to this. So like let's say you're in line at the deli, and exactly the person behind you is like, "Yo, hurry up, man, hurry up, fucking order your sandwich. Why you need to do 17 different like specific specifications? Blah blah blah. Just let him make your sandwich. He's in a rush. You know what I mean?" And you're just like, "Yo, man, like whatever, relax." Like, but now this person. That's what I'm saying. They're not seeing whatever. They're just thinking about only themselves. They don't see through the eyes of someone else. So instead
They're
of like
automatically on the defense.
taking his breath and thinking about whatever it is, or maybe this guy's ordering it for his pregnant wife that's at home, and this is why he's got all these specifications right now because it'll make her sick. She's pregnant, this, that. And he's doing it to get her something nice. Well, instead of thinking through why you would be that way, his automatic reaction would be to fucking, yo, man, hurry the fuck, exactly like you said, hurry the fuck up. Come on, I got somewhere to go, blah, blah, because he's only thinking about his self. And that's a big problem with humanity right now. And that's why a lot of people are so selfish, because exactly, if you're only thinking about yourself 24/7.
So that's kind of
You know,
exactly
we
where I
all-
was going with this. Go ahead.
We all also think like
Motherfucker.
who the fuck we are. We're the bro. You cut me off all the time. How do you like it? See,
He's
I'm
more assertive with the
selfish.
stash.
I'm selfish. It's the stash. This is Mustachio. Mustachio. Get it?
Mustache Joe.
Mustachio.
Well, that's what I was saying with everyone having our own situations going on. You with the kids, him with work, me with my car. And we could all
Oh,
experience.
Frank,
the
remember
same-
what I was telling
You
you?
cocksucking motherfucker. Are you fucking kidding?
Before. Sorry, Danny. My bad, bro.
You're such a dick.
It
bro.
might cut out.
Whatever, you get what I was getting at.
No, yeah. I mean,
We all have our own shit going on, but we could all experience the same thing together at the same time. But it'll affect us all differently. That's all I was gonna say. Fuck you guys.
Hey, I like how
Honestly,
you round. Danny always
Oh.
rounds it off at the end with like something like uplifting. You know what I
to
mean?
sum up,
Yeah.
In conclusion, well, no, that's
If
what
we're
I'm
all
saying.
just a little kinder,
Dude, that would go so far. That would go
Really
so
would.
far.
it would. go
Everyone
so
just
I'm
like
just
slow
busting
down for
balls.
10 fucking seconds. Everyone's in a rush. We're all gonna
Don't
die
lie.
eventually.
but don't lie.
Why not just
we've,
enjoy
we've
this
all
life?
had those moments where we've been that person too.
Dude, because when
Every
you gotta
one
get
of us.
somewhere, you gotta get somewhere. Everyone's guilty of it, of course.
I'm just saying. So it's funny. It's easy to say that, but exactly everybody has that moment. So on that
Right.
day, that's just that person's moment.
But Frank, I even brought this up to you a long time ago, and I said negativity feeds negativity. When you're in a rush or things aren't going your way that day, Frank, shut the fuck up. I'm explaining something. if something bad is happening, let's say I get into a car accident, my egg sandwich goes wrong at the beginning of the day. My breakfast is fucked up and I'm tight about it, which eventually throughout the end of the day causes me to get into a car accident and ruin my shit just because I was pissed about breakfast and then I was late for work and then this and then that and then this and then that.
You being a
builds up.
shitty driver has no connection with you getting a bad egg sandwich.
Everything is connected. Everything is connected. You think so? You don't think nothing is connected?
No, I do think everything is connected, but
humanity
I
is
don't think that
connected.
your attitude. I do think your attitude affects things, but things
Your
that
attitude
come
is
up or
everything.
happen with other people or stuff like that. I don't
'Cause
think
it's
like
your
my attitude is going to
interactions.
affect a natural disaster in a sense. Like, because to me, a car accident is a natural like. It's an accident.
That's a
It's not-
natural disaster.
well, not a natural
Is that where you're
disaster,
going
but that's
with
why I
this?
stopped. But you know what I mean? Like, it's not something that
It's
like
an
you can
accident.
control sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right. But let's say you get into an accident with someone who's on the phone screaming to their boyfriend or girlfriend about something and they blow a stop sign or they blow a red light and they crash into you. That attitude.
And that
they
wasn't my
had,
fault because I was in a bad mood about my egg sandwich.
maybe the reason they're in an argument is because the girl fucking got the wrong egg sandwich because the boyfriend doesn't listen and then it's causing other problems. And they have a baby at home they're trying to save. It's not
Well,
working.
then
out
his
so
problem
well.
again wasn't the egg sandwich; it was his nagging girlfriend.
Because of the egg sandwich.
No, the egg sandwich is not why she was nagging.
That's why
That's
she was
just the
nagging
topic that
that
she was
day.
talking about that
That's
day.
what she chose. Well, look, if you would have just paid attention, she would said no cheese, and you don't listen. I don't know. I'm just saying.
We lost. There's no interest. You say you guys. I'm done.
I don't know. I just feel like the way
Oh.
humanity has been now, because it's so divided with everything, whether it's the masks or the vaccinations or the fucking mandates or whatever's going on right now. I just feel like humanity isn't as tight as we once were. Like Joe said before, things are better in like maybe the 50s and the 60s and the 70s because the war was just over in the 40s. And then, you got rock and roll, you get fucking the hippie age. Everyone's doing LSD
I
and
think the only
mushrooms,
thing
just
that's
loving
better
each
is
other. And then
technologically
disco.
speaking.
What do you mean? What?
I think the only thing that's gotten better, like from the reference that Joe was saying, is technologically speaking. Yes,
Has
we are
gotten
far
better?
more-
Okay, so I was
Yeah.
saying like
humanity
humanity was
time, things
I'm
like
just
that. Like
saying
technologically
in general,
speaking, yeah.
though, like if you really think about it, think of like where we were, like our hygiene, things that we do to take care of ourselves, even though a lot of us don't. You know what I
was just
mean?
Say,
The
COVID
healthy-
just
the
revealed that a
healthy
lot of people did not
foods.
know a lot about hygiene.
Right. Or,
It's
you
not
know,
even
or
that.
that,
It's just
or that we
basic
just
hygiene.
slacked.
People aren't
Right.
following.
We slacked. You know what I mean?
Big
And
time.
it's the
Nobody
fucking
washes their
world's
fucking
way
hands.
of correcting
Yeah, that was just like
itself.
Mother Nature's way of slapping us.
Right.
Like I told you to wash your fucking hands.
I mean, a lot of people believe that this was all done on purpose. I don't think so personally,
Who?
but whatever, you know what I mean?
Who?
Even
Can I
if
talk to
it
that
was,
person?
Who thought it was done on purpose? Just one
even
person?
if,
That's
even if
crazy.
it was,
That's a
done on
conspiracy
pur-
theory.
even if it was done on purpose, we still need to be cleaner ass motherfuckers.
Yeah.
People need to be more aware of their surroundings
Right.
too.
Wait,
People
can we-
bump into people all the
No.
time.
Not to get off topic, but could we like imagine that for a
No,
second?
Frank, I'm not getting off topic.
Imagine if it was like a person that was like you know how you see movies and like someone's like a serial killer because they want to punish a certain type of person or they want to send some type of message or like something like that. What if it was like some type of person that was like, oh, humanity's so dirty. Every time I go to a public restroom, it's like this. Every time, you know what? I need to teach humanity how to be cleaner. And like that was why like the virus was released.
Some,
Could you
like,
imagine
evil
that?
Pretty
Genius.
fucking crazy, honestly.
Could you? And then they're like, you know what? And I want to blame it on the Chinese on social media.
I would be so fascinated, like, and fucking, I would be so obsessed with that if that was actually true. I'd want to know everything about how this happened.
That'd be a good documentary. But I'm
Bro,
sorry.
I got a
would-
good question.
What?
What do you think the world would be like if COVID hasn't happened? Like now, it's only been what, 2 years?
Yeah.
But how much things have changed and how different things are. Where do you think we would be if it didn't happen? Do you think things would
That is a
just
good
still
question.
be the same? Do you think we'd be a little bit more
No,
advanced
no,
with
no,
certain
no.
things because
I
like
think
we
Trump
would
would've
have
got a
slowed down
second
at
term.
all? Do you
I
think Trump
agree.
would have had a second term? You know
I
what
do.
mean?
I
There's
do
a
think
lot
Trump
of
would have had a
things.
second.
Also
And
agree.
not because I'm saying like, oh, I want Trump over Biden. This, that, blah, blah, blah. Not that I'm a
Bro,
Biden
think
fan.
of all the
But
shit
right
that
now.
wouldn't have happened if COVID
But
didn't happen.
Think about it
I
like
do think
this.
he would have got a second term.
I think he would have. Look, personally, I think that the human race would have been in a better position. That's just me. This
Yeah,
fucking president
absolutely.
has no idea what he's talking about.
Good
He can't
answer.
even read from the index cards correctly. But what I'm
Good
trying, it's
answer.
neither here nor there. What I'm trying to say is, if COVID never happened, I think, first of all, the
Well,
deaths
it was
and
a
everything
disease,
like
so
that.
obviously we'd be healthier if it didn't happen.
Well, I was gonna say most
Wouldn't have
people would
died.
continue on their everyday basis, and whether you wash hands or don't, you would still practice hygiene. It happened all the way up to now, so
Mhm.
that's not terrible. The flu comes around, but now they're like, oh, the flu's down because fucking people are wearing masks, and then they're like, oh, COVID's up because people aren't wearing masks.
Actually, they just
If
told me
someone-
that Mia. Oh, sorry, get.
No, yeah.
No, they actually just told me that Mia for her school after winter break, she has to have the influenza like flu shot or like whatever to come back to
Jesus.
school. She has to have it.
Just
And I was
fucking
like,
crazy.
okay, so
Look at
if I'm not
everything
moved
that,
out
you know?
here by then I'm just not sending her back to school.
Homeschool that shit.
Yeah, I don't care.
But think about it. If COVID never happened, that was never a thing, right? Besides the whole like economy being still good, I would say that people would still kind of be more together. Like there's always going to be some type of racism or stereotypes, shit like that. It's just it's in humanity to be judging people. You try not to because we wouldn't want to be judged, and they say like only God could judge me, stuff like that. But everybody internally has that own consciousness that they listen to, and they're like, oh well, it's because they're so and so. And
Well, I
it's,
think
it's
well
stereotype.
again,
It's
I was
fucked
gonna say
up, but
again, I
if
think
you're
it's
thinking
because
about
it's
to
not being
yourself-
able to see through the eyes of someone else. It goes
right,
back to that.
exactly.
I really do think
So-
it goes back to that. And that's why we have so much stereotyping and stuff like that. And then like you automatically assume that's someone that you see, and then it's taken as racism or something like that. When
Right.
there's no hate behind it, it's more of just like a uneducated or exactly of not being able to see that way. I agree
Right.
with you.
But what I'm saying is, I don't think there would be riots. I don't think there would be protests. There would be no vaccine mandate. There would be no mask mandate. Businesses would have still been open. People wouldn't have lost
Think
their
of all
jobs.
the new shit we would have had. 'cause
Think about it like
everything,
that.
bro,
In 2 years,
everything.
technology could have been fucking. We have definitely been pushed back at least 5 to 8 years. I would say
Couple restaurants that I liked by my house closed down because of COVID.
that's
And
crazy.
They would still be here.
5G is up. Everyone was indoors.
We
Nobody.
never
knows
really
being
hear
shut.
anybody talking about that, man. Like,
Shout out to
what
Trattoria Romano.
RIP. Bro,
No,
Frank, I'm
RIP.
sorry, Dan. 1 second. I want to ask Frank a quick question. Do you think the Lakers would have won the fucking championship if it wasn't for COVID?
Oof. Yeah,
We don't have to get
probably.
too into it, but like, think of
Yeah,
all the players
probably.
that like,
Yeah, I
didn't
mean,
really play, how the league was being run, and the amount of games being played, and
no, I hear you. Same thing. Even last year, you can
think
say the
about
same
that
for
shit all the
football.
time, bro.
There's a lot of football like last year players that were out of it that hurt their team that could have used that win to help get them in the playoffs or have a better seed in the playoffs. Could have played someone different, had a different outcome. So like, yeah, man, I definitely think that goes across the board for all sports because even like I don't really watch like hockey or baseball that much or anything like that, but even in there, you know what I mean? I'm sure there's plenty of pitchers and stuff like that that couldn't pitch certain games because of COVID and like they wanted to have them pitch against a certain team or whatever, and that fucking hurts you,
Nuts, man.
You know what I do love about humanity though is when your team wins. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. If you guys have a common like for a team or a sporting event or something like that,
Yeah.
or even for like music festivals, all types of races, ages, genders, all this shit, they all come together and they love each other and celebrate that moment. Like when your team wins the Stanley Cup or the
Yeah,
World
but
Series,
For every
everybody, that energy is so powerful and uplifting,
for for every good thing like that, there's always something negative though, and I have to be the bearer of to say like, but even for those people, you got that one fan that's like from the away team that goes to the stadium to go because they want to go see the game, and then you got all those home fans and like, yo, fuck you to that one guy. Like,
Yeah, true. He's got a point.
But so yeah, as much as they come together, they'll see the one outcast or
And they'll
minority,
just
so to
fucking
speak.
Kick that
Mhm.
kid's guys. Yeah. You
Bro,
from
I saw this
Boston?
guy at a Detroit Lions game. And he was it was a TikTok thing of him like at a Detroit Lions game, and he was there for the other team, and the Lions had just lost, and he was like, "Hey, how'd you guys feel?" And everybody was like, "Fuck you, blah blah blah." And the last guy that walks by goes, "I'm gonna beat your fucking ass."
Oh wow,
Like,
that was
yo,
aggressive.
who is so funny, but
That was
like,
really aggressive.
but that's how. Hey, you know what I mean? So it's
That's-
funny because yes, they do come together, but it's only because exactly like you said, they feel like you're a unity, and it's not about the race or whatever. No, it's about the team. But again, it's only
Not even the
because
team,
it's
it's a
about a
belief.
common thing.
It's about a belief. It's not even about the team. Let's think about it like this. Right now, what's going on? And people who are either holding the line or not holding the line, but this vaccine thing, it's all one belief. There's people rioting, not rioting, but they're in the streets, whatever they're doing. I don't know. I'm not there. Maybe they're rioting, protesting, whatever you want to call it. And they're fighting. They're like, no, this is against our human rights. Your
Yeah.
human right is choice. I would love to say that your human right is choice, but in some countries they don't have well, they have human rights, but not like choice and shit. Whatever. I guess because it's America, land of the free, home of the brave. I'm just trying to say, like,
No, here
Technically, we're
it's
not
your-
really.
it's your right.
Technically, we're not at the moment land of the free. Our freedom
I
is
agree.
kind of like in this limbo.
I agree. And
Like
that's why,
obviously,
like,
we're
even on
fucking
my,
free to do a lot of shit more
but
than.
no,
Right.
even on my TikToks and stuff, I
But
keep
like-
saying it. I'm like, because we're not, dude. You can't even go out to eat if you don't have the vaccine. You can't go to a
It's-
restaurant.
yeah, this is
So there's certain
it's
things that
fucking
you
crazy.
can't do that you want to do just because you didn't do.
Bro,
So
it's not even
that's
that,
not what
like,
America's about. That's not
Even
what do you
nowadays,
mean?
we're being spied on. We're being like, bro, fucking.
There's no privacy
our-
anymore.
yeah, there's not real privacy. Your phone, everything's fucking being marked and coded, no matter what it is. what
You're
you
accepting
do,
the
what you
terms and
talk
conditions
about.
without even reading it.
I've said it countless times about like how you're having a conversation about something. You could be talking about like a certain kind of truck, and then you're scrolling on Facebook, and like an ad for that truck pops up. When you're
Really,
thinking, I'm
bro,
like,
it's
dude,
just so-
I've had that conversation so many times. I'm like, did my phone fucking hear me? What the
Of course,
fuck?
it
Like,
hurts
dude,
you.
it's so crazy, man. That really freaks me out. It really does.
I just want to become a spy, but like without actually doing spy shit. Just like so that.
Would you
like,
really have
our
that
own
mustache if
government-
you were a spy?
Fuck yeah, bro. Why do you look like regular Joe to you? No. So let me ask you another question off my first question.
The mustache is making me ask a lot of
Now-
questions tonight. I love it.
Now that we did have this virus, what advances do you think we're going to? Well, I know a couple, but what do you like? Think of all the shit that's going to advance now because it did happen.
Well, see, it's
It's
funny
not
because
all
I've
negative.
always
A lot of good things will come out of this because, like, bro, there's been so many crazy, cool little things and ways to do things that are like, why the fuck wasn't this a thing before? And it's like people are becoming more in it, like,
yeah.
whatever. Though I'm not smart enough to come up with the word that I'm looking for.
No, I know what you mean. But no, it's funny because even me and Danny have talked about this in the sense of like kind of differently. But
Oh,
how
so you guys
like
have conversations on your own without me?
I mean, sometimes, yeah, we're all friends. We aren't all available all the time. Don't get offended, bro.
Whatever that guy just said is bullshit, Joe. I don't talk to anybody except you all the time ever.
Thank you, Danny.
Don't
I was
listen
about to
to
say,
him.
bro,
Wow. Oh my
I was about to
God.
say I'm done asking questions for the night.
Well, I don't even remember what I was gonna say now. Jesus. No,
Good and bad, this and that, thing and
No, no,
that.
no.
No, but for
but-
real, think about all the crazy shit that's gonna come out of it.
well, no, because what I was saying is like we've talked about in the sense of like now now they know how to keep people locked in their houses with what this came out. So like it was like
I
almost
wasn't
like a
going that way,
trial
but
run of
you
like
can go
I
with
know, but I'm saying
Yeah.
it was almost like a trial run of like how to get people locked down. But now I was saying the way you're thinking, it could be in the opposite too. There could be people that are like, oh, if something like this happens again, we're gonna come up with this that'll help us the next time to get back to
Right.
normal quicker. And it could be certain scientists that think of things like that too. So yeah, I definitely think that's it's a possibility. I never thought about it until you just asked that question though.
So where do you think, all right, the next 10 years from now? Because we
No,
never
fuck
actually
you. I don't want to hear from you. I want to hear from Joe. After what you
Joe
just
is
said.
on
Fuck
a
you.
roll today.
Yeah, he is. Fuck Danny. We're gonna keep interrupting him now.
No. Frank, take it easy on my guy. Okay. At the end of the day, Danny is my
Best buddy.
So I love you,
take
Joe.
it easy. I love him. I love you.
I thought we were supposed to be the three best friends anyone can have. But that's
We are the
okay.
three
Fuck
best
you all.
friends anybody can
We're a
have.
fucking tripod, okay?
All right.
All right, so then go ahead.
Go ahead with what? We
No,
weren't
I
really
thought you were
going
gonna-
anywhere.
I thought
Frank
you
was
were
just
gonna say
amping me
about-
up.
Frank was hyping you up big time. I wanted
So
to
what?
know, do you
Like,
think
where the
next
fuck
10
will we be in
years
10 years?
are going to be, like you said, all right, all right, think about it like this. What do you think is going to be better, the next 10 years or the last 10 years? From 2010,
I
up
think
until
most people think the
2020.
last 10 years are always better.
Than
Yeah.
the upcoming next 10 years? Is that what you're
I
saying?
mean-
Well, I think people always like are nostalgic on the past. So most people will probably say 10 years from now, 20
Would
years
be
ago was
better.
better than 10 years ago.
Because like,
I just feel like
we look
that.
at it now, like, oh, bro, the 90s.
The 90s was the best.
You know?
Yeah. But that, bro, that was 30 years ago.
I know,
Right.
but it's funny,
That's-
but that's how we
the
look at
point.
it.
So,
Crazy.
but I do
Um,
think we're gonna come up with a lot of big advances, like
Wait,
technological wise.
Can I tell you
and
something that I found out
just-
this week too about the three of us?
What?
Do you know that we're all
Are we
considered-
pregnant?
do you know that to teenagers that we are all considered old heads?
Oh yeah,
Old
bro, we're
heads?
boomers.
That's what they wait. You didn't hear that either. That's what they call us.
An
Bro.
old head?
An
Yeah,
old head, yeah, we're old
Karen-
I
head.
can't think of
I said that to
anything more
Karen.
clever than that.
that's what Karen said, yo. When I said this to Karen, she was like, "Old head? It doesn't even make fucking sense. What about I get like an old soul?" And I'm like, "Oh my god," because that was a thing back in the day. So I'm like, "Babe, I'm like, it just made you sound older. Like, don't do that."
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Old head
And
is a
being
thing.
an old head is like saying, "Oh, you a smelly butt or stinky butt." It's like the old head. You're an
so
old head.
my cousin
Oh,
Tino, he
man.
like plays video games. I mentioned him before. He like has like contract to play video games, and so he was telling me like a couple things. And he's like, "Yeah, I was talking to this guy. I was like a little old." He's like, "No, I was talking to this guy that's old, like you and my dad." And I was like,
Oh shit!
"What?" I was like, "Excuse," because first of all, his dad's like 10, 12 years older than me at least. And I was like, "What do you mean?" Actually, no, his dad's like 20 years older than me. So, and but
Frank doesn't
anyway,
know how old his uncles are.
whatever. But no, he's like 15 years older than me because he's like
Shout out to
45.
those guys, pizza, who always watch us on TV.
But no,
we
but-
wanted to thank you and let you know
Fucking
that
those
Frank has
guys,
no
Pizza.
idea how old you are.
I don't know anybody's
But he
birthdays
loves
either.
you. He
But
loves
anyway,
you.
so he called me old, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Oh yeah, bro, you're an old head. Like if you came on my game, my friends would call you an old head." And I'm like, "Wow!" And now that makes
Yeah,
sense
he was
why I
like,
got
"Oh my
called
God,
sir
that
in the deli the other like a couple weeks back.
You got called sir.
Yeah, I
Bro.
talked about it. Remember, it got me pissed off because this guy
Yeah,
was like,
that's
"Oh, I'm
right.
sorry, sir," and I was like,
So do you
"What?
think
Sir
humanity
me?"
has respect then? Because they're calling you sir as like what?
I
Just
think it
because you're
depends on-
old, they're gonna call you sir, or
person.
is that a sign of respect?
I guess you could say humanity as a whole does, but like obviously there's people.
There's a
that are
lot of
not
shitbags
respectful.
out there.
Yeah,
There's a
you know what I
lot
mean?
of shitbags.
But that's
out
always the case.
Nah,
I think
bro.
that
Being called
respect as a whole
sir
is
is part of progress, bro. It's part of like like you're just an adult now, man. It is kind of like a
At
term
what
of
point?
respect.
Like,
What do you mean at what point?
at what point did you reach that level of adulthood? You know,
Well, my back started hurting in the
When
morning
you
when I
fucking
woke
open
up
up
at
a bank
31.
account, bro.
So
Here's your check, sir.
no, I had a bank
wow.
account at 16,
Okay.
it's 18.
did they say sir or young man? Here you go, sonny boy. Here's your
Wait,
checkbook.
off topic. Off topic. What's gonna happen in 10 years? Honest answer, straight up, right now. No opinions, just
What's
boom.
gonna
answer.
happen
I
in
think
10
all
years?
cars will be
Yep.
electric.
Okay.
I wished it.
That's
I
a
wished
good
it,
one.
Frank, but it won't
We'll
happen.
get we'll
That's
get
not
back
gonna
to that.
happen.
We'll get
I
back to
do.
that, and I want to
No,
know
but
why.
10
Danny, what do you think?
Yeah.
What do I think within the next 10 years?
Yes, come on.
Alien contact.
Alien contact. Okay, that's great.
I also think in the next 10 years we won't have cell phones anymore.
Oh, okay. Wait, we'll get back. Oh, you know what? Fuck with my 10-year.
No.
plan.
Frank,
It's
I
gonna
mean,
look
Joe,
like.
I was
I
just
wanna-
throwing another one
because I
out there.
wanna-
We could
I
go
wanna-
keep going.
These are good. I want to talk about that shit though.
All right.
I
but
think
what-
fucking
real-
asteroids are gonna crash into the Earth. We're all gonna die. That's my
you think
honest answer.
in the next 10 years?
What?
Yes.
So you think there's
Bro.
gonna be like another Big Bang in the next 10 years?
No, he just thinks the Big Bang is gonna hit Earth and we're gonna die.
I think it's more possible than fucking aliens touching down to Earth. Yeah, bro. There's shit flying around space all the time. We can't control what comes into our atmosphere, and we can't see 10 years into the future of what's going to be flying our way. And bro, that's never happened before. And I feel like the odds of that happening are more realistic and likely than something that is like
There's gonna be
just-
no living things in anywhere.
Maybe. I'm hoping not. But like, bro, I feel like the Earth is doomed one day. Everybody's talking about like, oh, the sun's
I
gonna.
hope in
melt.
10 years
The
we can go back
atmosphere's
and
gonna
listen to this
fucking-"
episode and laugh at Joe and be like, remember when you said asteroids, bro?
No, listen,
mean, dude.
that's not too far off. I mean, asteroids.
No,
pass
I'm not
by
saying
Earth
that
all
it
the
can't
time.
happen. I'm saying that I hope it doesn't happen and then we laugh to
fucking
say
hope-
that we're
yeah,
here
yeah,
laughing
yeah.
at it. That's what I mean.
You know what I fucking hope? Alien contact, and we can watch this
I mean,
episode, and I
dude,
can be
let me
like,
tell
"Fuck you."
I
fuck you,
really,
you're
I don't want
cool,
to, I don't
I'm out."
want to, I don't want to over wish it, but I really do wish that shit would happen. I mean, like, bro, okay, let's for a second, let's go a different direction with that. Let's say fucking aliens come down. What the fuck's gonna happen next, bro? Now we just came in contact with another fucking whatever you want to call it, creature, being, fucking anything you want, whatever it is.
Is it
Then
really?
what?
It's got to be like a
Let's-
50-50 shot that they're going to be hostile or not. Too,
Right. Let's say they're not hostile though. Okay, Frank, I'm sorry.
I know. I knew this was going there as soon as you said that.
PTSD, bro. I'm trying to lay it out as nicely and easy as possible. Let me keep
So
going.
this is the 50% of them
Theoretically-
not being hostile. This is that
Right.
side.
Like, let's
Okay.
say they come down and they're like, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, hey, welcome to America and fucking Earth
Okay.
and wherever they are. Then what?
So what? A
dude?
few
Like,
years after
what
that, we just have
happens
some of them
now?
living among us in society, and we're out in there.
Do you think they'll be able to take us to where they live? Do you think
Yeah.
they'll end up coexisting with us? and helping
Absolutely.
us
If it was
advance?
peaceful and that's the case, yeah. But I think there would also be certain ones just
like
like
how
certain people that would be
different
bad.
would life
Like
be?
I think
if
that we could
aliens-
coexist with them and that could happen, but then I think there would be certain people that would be against it that would still not like them, and certain ones of them that would still not like certain people. Like just like how people are and certain
Would
don't-
it so it would just
there's gonna
cause
be
more
certain people that are-
disruption to Earth?
I think certain people wouldn't like it, and you know what I mean. Exactly, yeah, they might try to kill or this, that, and then vice versa, or like defense or whatever. So I think yeah, it could be hard. But yeah, I think that they could coexist. Doesn't mean that it can't happen. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But now wait, what about now on the other 50% chance? What if they
Wait, I
come
want to
down
hear.
and they
Wait,
are hostile?
let Danny throw in his. I want to hear his side of the 50 good percent. I'm gonna referee this conversation right now. Danny,
Well, first of all, you
Daniel?
know that I think that they already are among us living, but
okay.
that's just
Like
me.
Men in Black style?
All right, let's just say
Different
they
than Men in Black
are.
style, but
So
yes,
they're
you know, just
hiding.
living
They're
amongst us.
here. They're hiding.
But like disguised.
We don't know the specific reason yet. They're just here, and you feel like they've already whatever.
Bro,
You're
I
just
think it's gonna
watching.
be one of
like
two
an alien.
things. Either
What? And
like
the,
the
the
50%
short
of
story of it.
yeah. Okay. Either the 50% of the hostile part of the situation is going to
Yeah.
be them trying to like undercoverly come into our planet and like control
take
us
us out.
that way and
Oh,
take
What if they were the
over.
cause of COVID to take us out,
Maybe
take over the planet?
aliens.
No, it's
You know,
it's
so it
working.
could,
It's
that
not
could be the
working.
50% of the hostile. On the other
Didn't work.
side, Not yet.
Damn, we gotta go to plan 682.
It's a 10-year plan. It's a 10-year plan.
So come
He
on.
has a 5-year plan.
Thank
What
you.
is it? Don't die.
Don't die. On the other
so
side, I think
bad.
the upscale of having aliens here is they would either try to inhibit our planet so they could breathe. That's maybe why they keep the, well, that's not a whole nother conversation. Never mind.
No, bro, you don't have to get into conversation when you mention something. Mention it and keep going. Don't
yeah.
stop and say, "Oh, that's another conversation."
I really
Just
wanna
keep
know.
going.
It's
I
all
just-
part
I
of the
think that-
conversation.
No, I just think that aliens are going to be trying to help the human race
Okay.
advance,
Fair enough.
in one way or another. Yeah, maybe we don't have space travel
Frank,
like they do.
What do you
at this
think on the
moment.
negative 50%? Like, what if they came and they attacked? Do you think we're just fucked, or do you think we have a shot?
I mean, I think it could be a really.
We're gonna
good
need giant
war here.
lasers.
I think. I think it could be like a good war here in the sense of like we do for a spaceship, depending on like what kind of like armor that they have in their intelligence that we don't know about. I think that we could take down some ships like while they're here and stuff. We wouldn't be able to travel to them, which would be our disadvantage. So yeah, I think we would totally lose.
Right, because if
it was,
they've
like,
made it to
anything.
us, then they obviously know a route.
Yeah, we don't know,
from
and we
here
don't know
to
where
there.
their
We
home
don't know
base
the
is.
route.
They know where ours is exactly. So, what are we gonna do at that point? So they have the
We're
upper
fucked.
hand.
They do have the upper
Um,
hand because if they were able to come to us,
Aliens,
But-
if you
technology
listen
is
to our
obviously-
podcast,
But now we're talking about the next
wait
10
another,
years.
wait 20 years.
I'm gonna get real
Real.
on you right now. Ready? I'm gonna fuck Joe's mind up. We're talking about the next 10
Ew.
years. You're talking about Elon Musk and this person, that person doing all this stuff to travel to Mars. They're doing all these different rocket ships, whatever. What if we happen to discover them first on accident, and now we find out about where they are before they found out about us?
Oh, we're
And
fucking.
our technology was a
We're
little bit
shoving
more
our
advanced.
big Earth dick right into that fucking.
Like, so what if
planet,
we're the
bro.
aliens now coming to their planet and we come to it, and this is like, oh, we could have our new population here. We can have this. Let's just take this over.
I'm taking
Imagine,
Trump right up
imagine
there.
it was a habitable.
Tell them what goes on down here.
Imagine it was
We're the
another
red tie.
habitable
We're the
Earth
red
like this,
tie.
but everything living on there was only like a foot and a half tall. Like nothing is taller than 10 feet. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing is taller than 10 feet. And we are
a
like
midget
giants
land.
to them. Yeah. Not midget.
Hey,
That's
little
rude. There's people
person.
listening to us, man. That's
All right,
fucked
let's
up.
go.
Little people.
Little.
Little alien beings that are only a foot long tall. Just got a mustache. So
Hey, little man.
I just think that would be an interesting
Yeah,
perspective.
I definitely
guess,
think Joe's
us
right. Though. I
going
think
there.
if we went
A
somewhere
world
first,
of
we
little
would definitely
people.
not be peaceful. Like I don't think
No,
I don't see America.
I don't
see,
think. I don't think we're gonna
Americans
go
landing and
guns a
being like-
blazing, but like
no,
we're
but I
gonna,
don't see Americans.
we're going
landing
there.
and
We're gonna
being
be like, hey,
"Oh,
what's
we
this
go
over
peace."
here?
Yeah,
Right. What are you guys doing here? We're
Mhm.
Earth.
We're gonna.
Do
have
you
the
need
question,
do you need
yeah.
help? Do you need us to send our army here to help
Well-
control your?
Well, I was gonna say, 'cause we found
you
them,
did.
so we're gonna be like, oh, do you need help? Like you couldn't get off here to find us? Like maybe you.
Oh, do
need
you
help.
want water source here where you survived for thousands of years without? We'll bring it here.
Too bad. We're gonna do it whether you like it or not.
Yeah, we're gonna do it
come here,
anyway.
can't-
We think
Hey,
it
we
was
America.
found this
Fuck
land.
yeah.
We found it.
This is our planet now,
We
bitches.
discovered this.
We discovered. That's right. That's what America does. It's fucked up, man. It's so fucked up.
I love it, bro. We're
And
so
then they'll teach it
badass,
to
man.
future generations of kids about how.
And we'll be
whatever the name
heroes
is,
because
discovered
we
it.
just pillaged the whole fucking planet.
Bro, we did or we didn't go to the moon. What did we do? We fucking
Some of them got skinned, but
We
yeah, what was
fucking
what happened
jammed the
when we
American
just-
flag right in that bitch, bro.
We had to skin some of them when we discovered it. It's just what happens. It's
This
It's
is
in the
ours
history
now. Thank
books.
you. So fucked up.
America flag.
Oh man.
That mountain, I climbed it. American flag.
Don't forget, add another star. Add another.
Oh my
We flew out
god.
to that planet. Our planet flag.
All right. So do you think that we'll ever be able to achieve world peace as humans?
No.
No, never.
No.
I'm
There's
gonna
always
agree
going to
with
be
you both.
disagreement. There's always going to be selfishness.
No, it'll just, bro. Okay, of course, there's a possibility. Like, yes, it could happen one day. But like, realistically, bro, think about every person in the world would have to be cooperative and be
Not even
peaceful
cooperative.
and-
Just be a
Bro,
nicer person. I get what you're saying.
every
Yeah,
person
cooperative.
in the world, bro. Think
I don't
there
know
are
if you all
just
go-
people out there that are just born with that fucking.
Dickheads.
You know what I
don't
mean?
If you all
It's just-
believe in signs, but like even on like the whole moon sign like thing and everything, Like there's certain people that just don't mix. They're just oil and vinegar. Like I'm sorry, it just
Right, bro.
happens.
There's
So
too many of us for there's one person out of the billion that's not going to get along with me. You know what I mean?
That's true.
No matter what. There's too many of us for one person.
Well, I will
to not-
punch
you can
that
still be
person in the face
empathetic
if
and
they don't like
sympathetic
you,
and like
Joe.
understanding and like whatever. But like
love you, bro.
yeah, there's just certain people that just I'm sorry, there's just certain things that
So
don't mix.
world peace is hard to say, will we ever get it? I think, we'll find more ways to become peaceful, to do things peacefully. But I don't think ultimately it'll ever be solved to where we'll be like,
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I
It's
think
been
it
one
can
whole
get
year
better
since the
than where
earth
it
has
is.
not had any
Yeah.
incidents.
Yeah, I think it can definitely be better
We've
than
been
where it is,
peaceful
and
for
it will get there.
365 days of the year.
But yeah, I don't think it's necessarily going to be like world
Okay,
peace solved.
now, do you think it's because corrupt politicians are in everything and they're kind of like turning the way they want it to be with everyone's hands in their pockets? Joe, I'm not talking about Illuminati, even though I'm talking about Illuminati. What I'm basically saying
Well, wait,
is corrupt
So wait,
politicians. Hold on, will just
anytime you
pass
say
bills and shit like that
Illuminati, I
because
just think
they
about Alyssa.
because whatever
and he
they
looks
want
over
goes.
his shoulder.
He does. He always looks.
I
over.
gotta
He's
make
like-
sure.
He's like,
Nothing. No. What are
and
we
I
talking about?
said, bitch.
Yo, shout out to Justin. I'm with the guys, babe. It's the podcast.
With the guy, bro, dude.
Fuck.
Are we going to his show real quick? Are we going to his show? Yes, we're going to his show.
Yeah, of
because
course
he's got a
we're
show
I
going
want to
coming
go.
up.
Yeah, I want to
He's
go.
having a show. Let's
Justin,
go.
we're coming to your show, Justin.
November 27th. Yeah.
Be
But
there.
no,
Be square.
Back on topic. We'll talk. We'll shout out our man later.
So what I was just saying about based on the corrupt politicians and stuff, whether it's like the stolen election or whatever the fuck it is, Democrats, liberals, no one's judging anybody that hardly. But do you think we're going in the right direction or the wrong direction based on what's going on?
I think it depends on the person right now, but as a whole, I think we're more going in the right direction. I think there's a lot more people that are starting to believe in certain conspiracy theories that haven't been necessarily proven yet.
So you
but
think
are like
people are
there.
waking up?
Yes,
and
and like,
opening their
dude,
eyes
look
more
at the
to
Jim
what's going
Carrey
on.
on Jimmy Kimmel,
I knew
right?
you were
How
gonna
he
bring
was
this up.
talking about
Oh, my
how
God,
he's
this
talking
guy.
about like the Illuminati and everything. And then he said, he's like, how they put it out there in front of your face. So you laugh at it because they don't want you to realize it or think about it in that serious manner. They want you to be like that.
Hold on,
That's how
Joe.
they're going to stay to do with what they're doing. That's how they're
Like to
going to
stay on
keep.
their agenda.
Yeah, and their agenda is just, again, they're just another person, just like we are. They're just a person that has money and is powerful. So whatever they want to happen, they're gonna make happen and control in whatever way with the money. And however that affects other people
He's
is
just
why
a
other
regular
people
dude, bro.
exactly. But however,
He's just another
people like
crazy
us
you,
that are
but he's
lower on the
famous.
ladder in the financial chain that he is affecting, that's why we call him Illuminati, because he doesn't care about that person that he's
No,
doing
no.
whatever to, and he's using other middleman
Pawns.
people in between as pawns to do those things. And that's why it's bad. And that's why I think we'll never also have world peace, because you have
I can
those
agree.
people out there as always at the root. You know what I
Pulling
mean?
the strings.
No matter what, you're always going to have a rich person that just thinks they can do anything they want because they have so much money. You're always going to have certain kids that are born into money that do things that are bad, that they think they could just get away with it because
Like
they have money,
cocaine.
because it's been covered up for them so much. That's just me personally. Like, how are you going to solve that? All the different epidemics, the drug epidemics that have come out, the cocaine epidemic, now the pill epidemic, you had the crack epidemic, you had all these different epidemics of drugs and like whatever. You had so many addicts that fell into all of these and stuff like that. How are you going to stop all that stuff to cure world peace? Like, you're not. It's just not going to happen. There's always going to be other things that are going to come up that people are going to slip into, and it's always going to alter their judgments or alter their reactions, alter their mind, everything. So how do you stabilize that?
That's valid. That's valid. Yeah. What were you saying about Jim Carrey though a second ago?
So how he said like the Illuminati puts it out in your face and like makes you laugh
Bro,
about it
he's
and like
just that man.
Oh, he's
don't know
crazy?
himself,
You're gonna
bro.
just label
He
us
is
crazy?
He is.
Dude,
come on.
yeah.
no way.
Bro, just because
Just
people
a-
speak their minds doesn't make them crazy. Every human
And-
has
and
a
it only-
consciousness.
He's
and a
very
mind.
The only
relevant. He is
reason
still
he's
very
so
like
real.
he is still
so
very
real.
in his right state of mind. He is very
Yeah,
up
bro.
and everything. You can't even say he's still doing movies. He still has kids. He still has his normal life. He's about everything. And he just said something that some people don't agree with, but He meant what he said because he knows shit that we don't.
Like Frank's been saying before, though, like people are waking up to this. They're starting to say, I don't want to rely on the government for this. I got to be self-sufficient. How, like we thought fucking 20 years ago when they came out with this whole doomsday prepper shit. Look what the fuck happened. They were the smart motherfuckers when COVID happened. And now everyone else is like, oh, maybe we should do that.
In my opinion, COVID was actually a backfire. If it was a conspiracy theory and the government did release it, it wasn't some natural thing. If it was that way, it actually backfired on them because it caused so many people to realize that the minimum wage they were getting or the hourly rate that they were getting wasn't enough, caused people to stay home. And look at how many people are trying to be independent entrepreneurs now and make crypto money and make investment money and become social media famous and do all these other things and be marketers and make their own promotional events and like all this different stuff.
Start a podcast.
But I'm just saying, people are like, you know what, let's do something on our own and make our own money. Why do I have to make this limited amount of money from this person? I want to decide what I want to make and I want to do it. And mad people are doing it now. And to think about it like this, bro, if you're talking about money like that and you're not thinking about a weekly paycheck and you just have a goal of what you want to make a day or something like that, if your goal is $1,000 a day, it's not that much money. That's $300,000 a year, bro. That's $350,000 a year. That's a lot of fucking money. So yeah, dude, why do people want to make $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year, 40-something thousand dollars a year? I wouldn't. I don't anymore. Fuck that.
We rode tight whips every day. Like Mercedes and Escalades.
So I think that humanity is definitely in the right direction.
Off of everything you just said, that's the point I try to prove to you guys when you say like the government's gonna run us, like control us completely 100% one day.
Oh,
like
I don't think that they will. I think that they definitely try to, and there's people that are out there that
people will always try to fight back and advance. You know what I mean?
There'll always
Nobody
be a
wants
rebellion.
To be
no matter what.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It'll never, no matter what the government tries, 5G or fucking microchips in our brain, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it'll.
But it doesn't mean that certain people wouldn't also be affected or controlled, or you know what I mean?
Sure.
And that's the people that we're talking about, the
billions
little fans or the things
world,
like that
bro.
people are, referred to.
But this is what I'm saying when I mean people come together for this shit, because you're saying people are waking up for it. And we're like, listen, regardless, it's human choice. People do or don't want this vaccine. It's up to them. It shouldn't be up to the government to mandate it, because then you get the people who are against it. Let's say they are conspiracy theorists, or let's just say they legit have religious exempt, or they're just like, it's my human right to refuse this. You can't inject me with something against my will. It's fucked up, and that's how the government's trying to control. I forgot what I was going at. Actually, I have no fucking idea where I was going with this.
Like, bro,
I blanked out. I just had a fucking fart.
They do go heavy on you, trying to control shit and like what you do, where you can go.
Well, since he lost that, can I go back to real quick that I don't think we're gonna have cell phones anymore?
Oh yeah. Why where the fuck you come up with that?
Well, because of just how technology has been, and like how like we didn't have FaceTime 10 years ago, right? Like cell phones were so different. We had like the Nokia versions of cell phones, and 10 years before that, we didn't even have any. And I just feel like there's going to be some other technology that's going to come up that, like, whether it's like a hologramic thing or like something like that, that I feel like something else will come out that cell phones will almost be like gone and obsolete now. Because think about it, nobody even uses house phones anymore. I think cell phones will be around, but not many people will use them anymore, or they'll be more of like a poor person.
You know what it's going to be like?
I believe it, and I would like to see it.
You know what I mean?
Like those Google glasses. They have those Google glasses.
Something like that. It could be something. It could be a VR thing. You could call in VR, maybe something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
so then here we go. Based on that, real quick, where do you think humanity is going to go in 100 years from now? Because I think it's going to be more of artificial.
That's too far.
No way. I think we're not going to be here.
Can we stay on 10 years? I still got things I want to talk about on 10 years.
Well, I'm thinking like artificial intelligence. We're creating robots right now. All they need to do is put our consciousness into this robot, and we can become artificial intelligent and just live forever.
I think we're a long way from that, man.
I was gonna say, I think it's a long time before people are gonna want to accept that to be okay too.
Accept it to be okay? You think
yeah,
we
meaning
accepted
like
what's going on right now to be okay?
No, I mean even like scientists that want to work on that. Like you have to have someone that's okay with the idea of that before they even want to work on it. You know what I mean? So like
to be fair, there's scientists all over the world that work on robots that they do have the awareness.
Yeah, but that want to put people's personality into them.
Let's
Bro, you
say,
don't think
for
people
instance,
are trying? You don't
you
think
have
people are
this
trying to make
opportunity.
dinosaurs
Yes,
right now,
maybe.
bro?
Dude,
Yeah, I guess maybe.
there's people trying to make dinosaurs right now. Have you not seen Jurassic Park? Everyone wants that shit.
People
Let's
are trying to do some
say-
crazy shit these days.
Let's say 100 years from now, we're just say we're still alive, or we're gonna die, but we're like whatever, really old and shit. And someone's like, listen, I can't. When you pass away, I could download your consciousness into this disc and slip it in the back of the spine
Throw
of the
my ass
robot.
in
Wait,
there.
Joe, hold the fuck on. What?
I want to be a robot, bro.
That's what you would do? I thought you said something totally different. Never mind. My bad. My bad. But and like you could download your consciousness into this disc and then slip it in the back of your head. And then when you die, you then just become a robot. And now this is you. You're that person now. You don't think that could happen?
Fucking Robot Joe.
Think about it. In 10 years from now, you're saying cell phones are going to be obsolete. And we're
I
going to
don't think
It
it's
wouldn't be
totally
you living, it would just be
far-fetched.
your memories and whatever
would
No, it'd
be
be
the
your
same.
on in a
consciousness.
robot.
No,
But that's what I'm
because
saying,
look,
but
look,
it
in
wouldn't be your
100 years
soul,
from
it
now,
would
our
just
body
be-
is gonna no, it would be your soul. I'm saying your body's gonna deteriorate and die, but your consciousness, if you still have your wits, then it can just be transferred.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because literally the lifeness, the whatever of how you would
Right.
react to something, how you would change or
Scientifically,
whatever.
I don't think there's even a
Yeah, like they
proof
can
to,
only
like, that
a
being
computer can
real
only go
or-
based off of the stuff that you've done previously. So as people change and evolve
As
and
of
like
now,
whatever,
but in 100 years
wait,
from now,
wait,
so-
wait. Because
Let me
even in
finish.
100 years from now, it doesn't matter how you are now and from 5 years ago, you change differently. Once you die, a robot to continue you on wouldn't know how you're going to change 5 or 10 more
Yeah,
years
you
past
wouldn't
in the
life
future.
progress.
It would only be able to make the computations or whatever based off of your previous decisions before you died. So it would only be able to reenact things that you've already done or basically live on your memory and like keep you there around for other people to
Very good
remember
point.
you as or whatever, but it wouldn't be able to change and adapt of how you would naturally possibly do, because you could do something out of the ordinary or change differently. Something could happen to you that would make you think differently, and the computer's automatically going to process it how you processed it before, but it could make you feel differently and it would interact differently. You know what
so
I mean?
you're saying that a computer could feel how I react differently, but not think and
Computer
adapt.
can't feel. That's the thing.
Okay, so
No matter what, a
oh,
computer
so you-
can't feel.
but it could
That's
learn.
always the thing, even in the movies, whatever. Exactly. It can only learn based off of your previous things that you've done. So it can't automatically compute something unknown for the future. It can't,
I
it can
think it
only,
can
it can
adapt.
only, no, dude, it can only, even like, so basically, like if you put it into a war, it can strategize how to win a war off the strategies of what other previous things have done. Like it could take 100 different wars that were whatever, and now this new war could say, okay, well, out of all these different things, this is the possibility of this, so this is the best possibility or strategy or whatever. But it can't take an unknown while it's doing that strategy. Oh shit, some unknown shit happened and threw off the plan. It can't adapt to that. You know what I mean?
Think about like Terminator, right? Terminator, he was just a machine. He was just a killing machine. That's all he was doing. But as time went on, they had the T-100, the T-1000, the X, blah, 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 blah. Up until the very last movie, that shit could adapt to everything on its own. It's just
Still never
genetics. It's
found out how to
not,
feel.
that's fine. Well, yeah,
No,
it
he
did.
didn't. He never found out how to feel. He never had emotion.
His consciousness was transferred into it. Yes. I don't know if you've seen all of them. They're a little confusing, to be
haven't.
honest with you. But so then you can know. Fucking, I don't know what I'm saying, Frank. All I'm saying is that I
It's
think
the third time tonight Danny said he don't know what the fuck.
I'm in
he's
a mood.
I just like that Joe got my point and he knew what where I was going.
I
I'm
get what
happy
you're
that
saying.
you-
I just think that in 100 years from now, artificial
work.
intelligence. Okay, cool.
It won't.
Good story.
It literally wouldn't be able to. It wouldn't be able
It
to
wouldn't
do the
be able
naturalness
to?
of life. It would not be able to. A computer would not be able to do
I don't
that.
know, man. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of side with Danny a little on that. I feel
what
like
happened
in
to Ultron.
100 years, man. Look what happened. To
No, I don't.
Ultron.
I don't think that you can artificially produce life. I don't think you could do that.
What are you artificially inseminating there, Frank?
You just said the life form, the consciousness. I don't think you could do that.
All right, there's been movies about it though. And I know that I'm not basing this on movies, but if it's an idea that you could put in a movie, it's gotta be possible within the next 50 to 100 years. Think
Gotcha.
about it. All right, just no, absolutely no. You're
No.
100% no.
Oh, so when movies came out 50 years ago and they had Superman, that had to come true by now.
Okay, that's Superman is an alien from a different planet called Krypton. So I don't know where you're getting at with this.
I'm just saying. They're out there. The government just told us they were. It was 50 years ago. So it should have happened by now, according to your logic of your last sentence.
this is why I want to fight you again, Frank, because there are times where you just don't learn and
Let's go. Let's go.
you don't want none of this.
Is your nose healed yet? Anyone?
Frank, I'm retiring 1-0. All right, we're good. That's
I
all I
would
need.
too. I would too. No,
All right, so
but
then
all
let
right.
me
So wait,
answer
there
this
was
other
one other thing
question.
I did want to get back to. 'Cause
Okay, go
so
ahead, go ahead.
I talked about 10 years into the future too. I don't think that we'll be here.
You don't think
I
it'll
don't
be here in
think
10 years in the future?
I don't think that we'll be on Earth.
You don't think
Yes.
humans?
With
All
with
humans?
all the stuff, not all humans. So I think that like we'll have multiple planets and be able to, because like how with them
We're just gonna
trying to go
have
to
multiple
Mars.
planets. What do you
Well,
mean?
yeah, with them trying to go to Mars and wanting
We're
to
gonna
do
be like
this and like,
fucking
oh, Earth isn't
Sims.
gonna last or this and that.
I want to go to
feel
Red
like-
World today.
Well, I feel like there'll be flights. Like what? You could travel from country to country. Well, why not? Can it be within 10 years or 100 years that we could travel from planet to planet and there could be another country on another planet
Not
that
too
just spreads out the
far-fetched.
population?
That's
that
what they're
now-
trying, bro. Honestly,
Well, that's
though,
what
but
can make
their
Earth live
goal right
longer and blah,
now,
blah, blah.
like-
Another one of his things was he said that these like energy plants or whatever, that he called them something. And they were like sustainable energy plants. And he was like, if we had 100 of them on the planet would be able to have fully sustainable energy.
Without humans?
No. Like without like using natural resources and fuel and this and that, like being able to have electric cars and this and that, blah, 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 and just having these power plants and being used on electric energy. Now
Wait,
we would
power
fully
plants or
rely on.
trees? You said trees. You said 10 trees.
Yeah,
That's all
I was like, I'm
fucking-
confused.
Frank's
Which
like,
is-
yeah, a billionaire told me that 10 trees is all the earth
Oh no! Oh
needs.
no! I'm sorry. I meant 100. Did I say 100 trees? I meant 100 power plants. I'm sorry. I don't know what I said now.
Fuck do
But
you mess up
100 power-
power
It was like
plants and
these. It was like
trees?
it was like these whatever energy power plants or these energy like whatever. And he was like, yeah, if there was 100
Whatever,
of these on the
whatever.
earth-
You got to describe it. I have no
I
idea. what you're
forget the
trying to
exact
say.
terminology, but he said if there was 100 of them on the earth, that would have sustaining energy to where we wouldn't need certain other things. and to
So
where
why-
we
why
can
aren't
have
we
the
doing it?
earth last longer. They
Did you
are.
just
They're
basically
trying to.
say
They
that?
just built the first one. That's what I'm saying. But you need. It takes 100 of them, and the amount of electronics and all the stuff that's in it, it takes a long time. So it would take them a while. But between that and them like wanting to go to Mars and this and that, I think they're going to be able to figure out somewhere to spread some way to spread out the population for it to last longer by getting another planet for us to move to. I do.
Like a
So yeah, I
second
think Earth will still be here, but yeah, I do think that there'll be a choice to live somewhere else.
You're gonna have to get dual passport and dual citizenship if you go to different.
And probably some extra vaccines.
That's crazy.
Just think though, okay, let's think for a second. Do you think they're gonna mandate more things for us moving forward?
Absolutely.
If they did, if it proved
100%.
that they could with this one, oh my God, America, the free place where we weren't allowed to tell anyone to do anything.
Forget about
Let us
America.
mandate this.
I'm talking about everywhere. Like,
Well, everywhere, it's already happened.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be boosters on boosters on boosters on boosters.
Bro, in other countries and stuff, you already have to do what you're told. Like,
Sucks. That's why everybody wants to come here. But now I
It's
want to get the
true.
fuck out.
but see, it's true though. That's why there's a lot of people in a lot of countries that want to move here. For me, right now, I think like the place to be at, like, I really don't think America is the best country to live in. I actually would love to go to like Britain, England, somewhere like that.
you want to get to Britain?
You sound like you're from
Britain.
London.
I want tea and
London.
crumpets.
I would love to visit there. I would fucking
I
move.
heard it's
I'd move
actually really
anywhere.
fucking cool there.
It looks nice. I mean, we only see it on the telly, but it's I
Shout
do
out
enjoy
UK,
very much
Britain,
the whole
London.
culture and everything. I fucking love that shit.
Mhm.
We'll see.
What's crazy though is like humans all over. We share some type of energy with each other because we all have those common things. Whether you meet someone from South Africa and that person is incredible, or you meet someone from London or Egypt or Australia. Everybody has
Joe, you know I used to South
Commonalities.
Africa,
I know.
right?
Let him finish. Let him finish.
We all have commonalities. That's all I'm saying. And I feel like there's only 7. I mean, there could be more than I've read somewhere. I forgot how many are, but I'm gonna just use the
He's a
number 7 because I already
soft
said
man.
it. But there's like 7 personalities that
Look at him.
everybody that you can divide
Floating
everybody up
right
into,
now.
and everybody just
Little shout outs.
shut the fuck up.
I love it.
everybody could fall into these categories and have the same mannerisms. So like, oh, you remind me of my friend
Yeah.
John from back home. You know, a lot of
Mhm.
people can do that.
man.
The
We could all give each other
similarities.
hugs when we see each other. You know.
I love
World
giving
peace.
hugs, bro. Hugs is the best thing ever.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
Actually, I was having like a really kind of like shitty couple days, and then Danny came by to see the girls for a little bit.
Feels
like we hung
good,
out,
bro.
whatever. And then when he went to leave, like just went to give him a hug goodbye, and he gave me like an
Oh.
extra long hug. Not gonna lie, I just totally needed it. I did. I'm not gonna lie. It was like a great bro on bro hug, and like it was like an extra long, like 30-second
Bro,
hug, and I
wasn't
was
kidding.
like,
He's good.
That's it.
he's a good hugger.
Everybody
Give
love
you a
everybody.
Danny hug, man.
Yoey! I love everybody.
That's it. Yeah, well,
Love it.
hugs are the best. Honestly, that's the one gift
Yo,
that I would
if-
give to
wait.
every human if I could. I would give
Okay.
If I
everybody.
could
a fucking
say
hug.
that
Okay,
there's
okay,
one
okay,
character in
okay.
a movie that you could play better than anybody, that part, bro, you could have played that part in semi-pro 100% better than him. 100%.
Yeah.
You could have owned that role. I swear to God.
No,
Next-
you know what role I see Danny fitting in good? Obviously, is the white version. But you ever see Ladies Man?
Oh yeah, that's
the afro?
cool. I buy you a fifth
Yeah.
sandwich.
Can I buy you a fifth?
Leon
sandwich?
Phelps. Oh, that's it, baby.
Leon
That's
Phelps,
it.
bro. Danny's the
That's-
Ladies Man.
That's funny.
That's not. That's
See,
not. That's
I
not
wouldn't.
cool.
I would have thought of more of like if you went like Ladies Man. I was thinking more of like, oh my God, what's the movie? When he's watching the, he's watching
Don
the porn.
John.
Yes, that. How did you know what I was thinking of? Don John. That if I was gonna name like some kind of movie like that,
That's actually a pretty good
Danny.
movie with Scarlett Johansson.
Yes,
It's a really good movie, especially with Scarlett Johansson.
bro. I
Oh,
barely even
bro.
said anything because I wasn't sure if I had the right
knew
scene
you
or
were
not,
going
and
with
that's
this,
so
so-
funny. How did he know what movie? I barely said anything. Everyone else who's listening was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" And then you guessed the movie.
Yeah, I fucking know.
Oh,
Damn.
man. That's
All right,
great.
so I got one more question that I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this because this is controversial. And where do you think we came from? Do you think it was Adam and Eve? Do you think it was evolution?
What
Do you
the
think we
hell
were
does
put
that-
here on aliens? Are we an
Did we
experimental
get here
species?
from aliens? Did he really?
Are
just
we an
ask that?
experimental species?
No,
Think
We're
about
just-
it, dude.
That's
Listen,
we're
in-
just an
This-
evolved.
You're right, Joe. He
species,
believes in
bro.
anything. He believes
Anything,
in anything.
dude.
After
How
he
is it
just said that,
possible?
he definitely
You can
believes
tell
in
Danny we
anything.
evolved from a fucking Snickers bar, and he's
Yeah.
gonna be like, "Holy shit!"
These aliens put us here and
Start
then
sending
wrote this
us
little
videos.
story in a book and put this Adam and Eve thing there, and then we just believed that instead. That's what happened. That's what Danny believes.
Why
Look
is
at him.
that
He's
so
like, it
far
could be-
off? Why is that so far off? There have been hieroglyphics from all over the world with the same types of things.
Bro, there's like scientific proof that we evolved. It was evolution.
Right, it's just evolution, bro.
So then
did you
are
not
you
go
gonna
to
question-
sixth grade science class?
But then
Scientific
are you gonna-
evidence.
okay, but then do you question God and the Adam and Eve?
I don't question God. I'm
God,
saying that he
technically-
put the animals here and started everything and like whatever, and knew as God that they were going to evolve at some point. Why can't
Oh,
it
so
be
you
both? Why
are-
does it
so
have
you're-
to be one or the other?
It doesn't, but it kind of goes again. It's either science or religion. For the most part, humans will categorize that into two different topics.
Oh, so you
I
mean
do
they're
think it
trying to
was
divide
science,
us to
bro.
keep arguing about this topic so we don't figure out that it could possibly be one thing? Oh,
And that one
wait,
thing is
wait, I was
aliens?
what
That's
if they-
crazy. That's
oh,
crazy.
shit,
That's
what does that
crazy.
make? Like a
That's
double
crazy.
Illuminati?
No. Can I just correct me if I'm wrong?
You're
Didn't
wrong.
we evolve into humans, and then God and Jesus came later, and this man just sacrificed himself, and everybody just says, "Hey."
Oh, that's
Hey,
also part of it
Jesus.
too, yeah. Because
He just says, "Hey,
But-
he's
but
like-
Jesus, but
like,
wait,
technically
Jesus
Jesus
came
and
later.
Right,
Jesus
later.
came later. God would have
after
already
the
invented
evolution
everything
of
before that.
humans, right?
So God was still before that. He still.
But is
he
God
basically-
actually real, bro? They're saying that God or this mythical man sent Mary a child without her even having any type of conception with a man. So they're just saying they're calling it God.
That was
We
a
could be
miracle.
calling it fucking Freddy. Freddy sent down, you know what I mean?
I mean, they didn't
Yeah.
really know about like
It's technically just
certain
a
things
story.
back then. It could have just been like a bad rape in the middle of the night, and she was
God
just didn't
is
want to tell
more-
someone and was like, "No, I don't know
Right.
how I got pregnant."
Or
It's
that.
okay."
And the
We don't
world
know.
just believed her.
Right. But
Hey,
I don't
they
you're right, it
believe
makes
that
more
one
sense.
lady instead of all the millions of others. It makes it's a possibility.
Look,
That
I
wait,
wasn't around
that's a
back then.
possibility, but the other thing is,
I wasn't around back then, but they didn't really take too kindly to women having opinions, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong, but I don't think they would believe that. Oh yeah,
But to answer I do think we just evolved.
You think we just
fucking-
evolved?
from
All right.
primates
So there's this
or
whole
some type
yeah,
of organism or something.
That's what I was gonna say. Now, have you guys ever seen the movie Planet of the Apes?
Yes.
Okay, you got the story of it. If you haven't watched it, do you think eventually something like that could happen where humans get overthrown? Not necessarily
No.
by.
So you know,
I would say
the actual thing of that story is that they left Earth and then came back so far later that after it was overturned or like whatever. So it was
True.
actually that they were on Earth. It wasn't that they
Correct.
were found somewhere else or
Right.
whatever. So that is technically kind of possible.
Oh,
I mean, if you
Or-
think about it,
it's a different universe, like a
Or-
multiverse, because black
or the-
holes kind of,
no, but
they
I,
got
well, I
all
was
the
thinking like,
wormhole
'cause what
shit.
if we start to go to like Mars and we start to
Well, okay,
populate
wait,
there
wait.
and there's less humans here and then animals
you-
take over and then certain people try to come back and it's like a not Planet of the Apes but Planet of the Animals type of situation. It's
Planet of the
possibility.
lizard,
fucking-
the
you mean
lizard
like-
people.
fucking Predator.
Kind of.
That would be dope.
Have you? Now I forget. What the fuck.
What were you gonna say, Joe?
Man, holy shit. Oh, have you ever seen the movie District 9?
No.
Yes, I
You
never saw the
haven't?
end of it actually, but it's pretty
Really?
interesting. Aliens and humans
That-
are living together.
Together,
Sure.
and the aliens live in an area called District 9, and it's based off the video game. And yeah, bro, and like we coexist, and one guy gets bit by an alien and gets infected, whatever it is, and he turns into an alien, and it's crazy. It's like, what the fuck would happen if we had to coexist like that in like a little area?
Do you think humanity would be able to coexist with aliens?
That's kind of going off what we were talking about before.
I was
guess
gonna say, didn't
so.
you ask that?
Well, I forgot. I should have brought up the movie earlier, but I just remembered it now since Danny referenced the movie.
I thought Danny asked that question earlier if we thought we were able to coexist.
No,
Oh,
I
we
said
did
I
talk
think
about
we
it.
are coexisting with aliens. There's too much.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick, here's something I want to tell you guys both because it just came to my mind. Frank, I told you about this. Netflix has a show called Inside Job. Joe, if you
Also,
haven't
just
checked
show
it
one more
out,
time.
you got to check. All right, I didn't tell
He's
Joe about
literally
it.
told me like 3 times in the past 48 hours, Joe.
He didn't get to tell me yet, so he's telling me. I know already, but let him tell me.
So they're like 25 or 30-minute episodes. They go by quick. There's only 10 of them. I'm up to like the 4th one. And each one, like what I wanted to bring it up when he brought up Jim Carrey exposing the Illuminati, where it's so much in your face that you don't believe it. This is an animated version of all the conspiracies, and they're literally playing it out for you. Like, yes, we did this, we did this, we did this.
Yeah, they
But it's in-
storyline it.
But
like
it's
in
in a
Right.
comedic way.
But
for
it's
you to
in a
laugh at
comedic
it.
way. So you're like, oh yeah, right. Fucking chemtrails, sure. Ha 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 ha. And then
But Joe,
like,
before
winking
you
at
go
you.
watch that, go watch Cobra Kai first, though.
Oh, 100%. You need to watch Cobra Kai. Get on that Cobra Kai.
We should,
Season
we,
3
we should,
or
we're
4's
going to
coming
talk
out
about this
soon.
one day on an episode. We're going to talk about all these cool new shows that we're all watching, man.
Speaking of
You
which,
know what?
a lot of people said like, "Oh, Squid Game's trending." This now, it was not good. It was not good. Don't waste your time.
You want to
to
know
watch
what? The
Squid Game.
first episode, everybody says it's slow, and it is. But the first episode, I think, is the most iconic part
Yeah,
of that whole entire.
the ending
like-
was terrible.
When everybody starts dying that last 15 minutes, and you're like, "Holy shit, this is actually pretty crazy," and like,
Yep.
this is wild. But then the rest of it's like, all right, it's just.
It was
them
like the
fucking playing
Belko
games.
experiment in a show.
good
Right.
movie.
It really
Which
was.
was
Thank you
dope
for that.
movie. Yes. I'm
It really
glad.
was like that. But I didn't like the ending at all. The very ending was terrible.
Of the Belko or of
No, of
fucking
the
Squid Games?
Squid Game.
I was gonna say Hunger Games for a second, which is crazy because when Hunger Games did come out, I was like, wow, this is exactly where society is going. And now if you go back and watch the Hunger Games 1 and 2, it's like, wow, this happened. It was so fucking crazy. Like the stories behind it and like all the subliminal messages behind it and shit like that. I don't know, just crazy. So I guess lastly, I would just say that I celebrate humanity and I wish people were more kind to each other, but I do pray for it because I hope that we all wake up and we all become closer together because we're all one at the end of the day. There's some corny shit that you're like, oh yeah, whatever. But think about it, dude. We're all going through the same shit on a fucking floating rock in the middle of nowhere. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. You know, just be kinder to one another. Be aware of each other. That's all I'm saying. Let
That's
that person
Danny's
go.
inspirational message
it.
for the week.
Can we got to give this this little segment he does at the end of every.
That's
fucking
why I just
episode.
asked
We gotta
Danny's
give it a
little
name.
inspirational thing for the
I'm
week.
gonna
for
come
you.
up with a really good, sweet name for it, and then you're gonna fucking top us off with this
Top you off.
uplifting, emotional. Yeah,
It's got to be like Danny Esco's something something.
No, you got your bird. man.
Danny's
You
sweet
crazy.
talk sessions.
Oh,
Danny's
man.
Sweet Talk Sessions. That sounds kind of like a late night.
Yeah.
It's like a late night podcast that I have on my own without telling you guys. I forgot to tell you, but I have late night sessions.
Danny's. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it. I'll come up with it.
Think
That's
about
funny.
it. And
I'll
guys,
forget
is
about
just
Yo, wait.
that's it. Just play a little little
Do
MJ.
you want to know what's funny? This just made me think of it because it came in and out for a second, and like we didn't hear it at first. You remember when the Kim Convenience thing came on in the background?
Yes,
for Danny?
I do. I made
So-
sure I had the volume the correct way
You
this
mean-
time.
Well, wait.
Porn.
The other day, I'm going through Netflix with Karen, trying to like find something on Netflix, and I'm like scrolling, and I like stopped and like was looking at her and saying something, and I guess like as I was scrolling and not looking at the TV, I stopped and I heard, and I look up and it says Kim's Convenience, and I was like, oh my god, it is a real thing.
Fucking told you, man. Y'all don't want to listen. You just think I'm all about that shit. On that note, thank you all so much for listening. Thank you for the likes, listen, shares, and follows. We appreciate that stuff. Be kind to one another. Give someone a fucking hug. Everyone loves hugs. I'm gonna give you a hug right now, guys. Come here. Bring it in. Bring it in.
I want to
Bring
invade
it
my
in.
personal space.
I'm not
Post-COVID,
hugging you
bitch.
through the fucking computer.
Man, fuck you guys. Talk about humanity.
All right.